Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem HaKadosh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, or the true leaders of Israel today. And salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. In the true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai. And the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Akalil, and this video is about the prophecies of Yahweh Shemishai. Alright, so here it is in the news. Alright, what is today's date? Oh, June 6, 2025. Okay, so this was posted June 4th, 2025, so what, 2 days ago? And it's saying, new highly infectious C19 strain arrives in UK now. You know, the narrative for the C19 is building, right? It appears to have, quote unquote, come back, you know, as some people would say. But then, you know, there was a situation called the quademic that apparently has been going on since about the end of 2024, and it's a mixture of four viruses, diseases, plagues, pestilences, however you want to call it. A mixture of C19, the flu, RSV, and norovirus. So, you know, it didn't really disappear, right? The C19, it's still here, or it's been around still. But now they're pushing the narrative of this new highly infectious strain that has come, that has emerged, right? So the previous report was that it has hit the shores of America, and now it has hit the shores of the UK, and it has hit the shores of several other countries. You know, it has not been reported out here in Jamaica as yet, but I've heard from medical professionals, including a doctor and an individual who is in the position of a head nurse position, that you know, they have mentioned it, and the doctor mentioned it, but then the head nurse mentioned it and said that it's been here since January. She said that she even got it. She also mentioned that she does not have the, you know, the solution that they provided for the worldwide pandemic in 2020, you know, what they provided. She said she doesn't have that as well. But she also said that in Jamaica, the hospitals are becoming full because of it. And she also said that don't be surprised if countries start going into a lockdown again. And she said definitely don't be surprised to see Jamaica go down into another lockdown. So having said all of that, regarding the C19, okay, the veracity of it, the claims of it all, the way that it was sold to the public, as to how extreme it was and all these kinds of things, you already know what it is. All right, the solution that they provided for it, y'all already know what it is, okay? The people in the world are the ones who believe the narrative that was pushed, but the people, those of us that have the eyesight from Yahweh Shemishai, we don't believe it. Instead, it was used as a tool to expedite heading towards a digital society, heading towards a cashless society, affecting the supply chains so that they can bring in the new systems, right? To me, speaking as a man, it appeared to be a test run to see how many people around the world will really be compliant if there is a quote-unquote worldwide catastrophic situation of sorts, such as a worldwide pandemic with a disease that is quote-unquote ravaging the world, and thousands of people are perishing and all these things as they sold it. You know what I'm saying? So there were definitely ulterior motives to the entire situation, and it has been deemed, things such as the invisible enemy, which nobody can pinpoint and be angry at, you know, like angry at another nation or another people or anything, because it's like a disease that's just like out there and affecting, and now the world has to come together and fight it, right? That's the whole narrative of it all. But as I said, there were ulterior motives to it, and you can see it all, and we're still feeling the effects of it. And now with this new narrative that's being pushed out there of this new highly infectious C19 that has hit the shores of America, now they're saying that it has hit the shores of the UK. It's the same thing being played over again, the same playbook. But you see, the thing is that this devil, right, it looks like something else is brewing, all right? All eyes are going to be on it and everything else, as it says. The scriptures say, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem. So the watchmen are the prophets of Yahweh Shemishai, who are us, me, and all of the like-minded brothers around the four corners of the earth, right, are going to warn you of anything that is starting. Okay, so as well, in Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12, it says, Rejoice, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil, talking about the so-called white man, who are the biblical Edomites, who are the ones that are currently in rulership, is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So he knows his time is short. So it looks like he's bringing about something else, or rather he's bringing this back, to bring about the next phase of his plan, right? And then the situation is that it's not just this, it's also the bird flu, right? The bird flu, they've already put the narrative out there that it can affect everybody and anything. And then it has already affected the poultry, which then has affected the food supply chain, right? Regarding the egg shortages are being experienced in America, egg shortages are being experienced out here in Jamaica, etc. Then they're saying it's also affecting the cattle. So, I've said it before in previous videos, speaking as a man just from observation, that it appears the bird flu could be a pestilence that is used to affect the food supply chain, right? But they also put it out there that it can affect humans. So we will see how that narrative continues to build. It's all about just watching what's going on around the world and reporting on it and filtering it through the scriptures, all right? Because we know that severe judgment is coming, man. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and verse 5 says, Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. So we're going to be going through a time called Jacob's trouble, a time like never before upon the nation of Israel, But the thing is, Jacob's trouble is everybody's trouble. It's Jacob's trouble because Yahweh Shemishai is only concerned with the children of Israel. So the Lord only gives the warning to us. But the entire world is going to be suffering, man. And the wicked elite of Esau, Edom, the elite bankers, they're going to be bringing chaos and hell to this world, man. It's all going to be intentional, right? The pestilence, the famine, whatever else, man. Yahweh Shemishai has gifted them with certain levels of technology, because Esau, Edom is in his rulership. He has the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven, and by the sword he would rule. He would rule, and he will rule, and he is ruling right now. So he has been given certain weapon technology. Revelation chapter 6 verse 8, it says, And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, which is referring to Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, and power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, which is America, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. So they're going to be coming in with that great wrath, man, and they're going to be causing a lot of chaos and calamity to the world. And they have a motto which is order out of chaos, order ad chaos. So it's going to be intentional, man. Okay? And that's what they did in 2020. They brought chaos to the world, and then they brought along an order to it of sorts. All right? But I did say before that sometimes I do lose track of my thoughts a bit, but I did say that one of the things that I observed was that it's what they, with the whole situation in 2020, is that they wanted to see how many people were really willing to comply, because what's coming the hour of temptation. The hour of temptation is when you are faced with taking the mark of the beast, and the mark of the beast is the microchip. So they wanted to do like this kind of test run of the world to see how many people will be willing to comply and accept what they offer the people, for the people to get out of the situation that they're in, which in the case in the 2020 worldwide pandemic was that with the C19, they offered a solution to it, right? And then there was all kinds of things happening where, unless you have it, you're not able to work, right? People were losing their jobs, etc., because they were saying that it was mandatory to take the solution that they offered, or else you won't be able to work anymore at X, Y, and Z places. All right, not every single place, but many places, including places out here in Jamaica. And actually, there's still some places out here in Jamaica that do require that you have that solution that they provided. You know what I'm saying? To be able to work there. Okay, so there has been some permanence to it, right? So that entire simulation that occurred is going to happen again, but this time it's going to happen again in the near future by way of the microchip. Okay, so Esau Edom likes to do his test runs and his trials and stuff, but this is just a situation at hand, and here it is, he's coming back with this whole narrative again, right? A new subvariant of C19, which experts say is highly infectious, has been detected in the UK for the first time. Okay, so the NB1 has been found in 22 countries since it emerged in January, with cases now confirmed in North Ireland and Wales. And as you can take notice of it, that the narrative for it is building up once more. And then you also need to really observe this devil very, very closely. All right, the World Health Economic Forum, they set up the pandemic treaty just a few days ago. Maybe it's probably like a week now, right? They gathered together. Oh, it was May 20th. Okay, time just be going real fast. But anyway, right, the treaty, WHO, see there 23 hours ago, WHO is finalizing a new treaty to prep for the next pandemic, but US isn't signing. Okay, so I guess the US is being stubborn and whatever, but the wicked elite are in control, so it's all just for sure. It's all just like a play, That's why you have to be rooted in the prophecies of Yahweh Shemisha, and then you filter what you see, because everything isn't as it is. Remember, we're dealing with the devil, the great deceiver. All right, and this is his kingdom. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked, so he has full control of it. This is what the power that Yahweh Shemisha has given to this devil. All right, but anyway, they did this because something is coming. The same individual, where he at? Yeah, the same individual right here, like you see that video. I believe it was him that said that there is another pandemic that is coming. They do not know when, but they are saying one is coming for sure. It could be the next day, or it could be in 10 years. Regardless, they said that they know that one is coming for sure. So they already let the people know, all right, of their plans, right? Which they always do, but people just don't believe it, because people rather live in darkness than to accept the light. Okay, so yeah, man, there it is. Okay, things are moving along, man, and it's only a matter of time, as the scriptures say in 2 Ezra chapter 16 and verse 37. Behold, the plagues draw nigh and are not slack, as when a woman with child in the 9th month bringeth forth her son, with 2 or 3 hours of her birth, great pains compass her womb, which pains, when the child cometh forth, they slack not a moment. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and arrows shall come upon it on every side. All right, so the prophecies of Yahweh Shemisha are sure to come, and the judgments are sure to come, and the message is to repent and to hope for salvation, hope to have the mark spoken about in Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4, which is a spiritual mark, which is the Thawa, which, will be the mark of exemption from all of the judgments that are coming, and then the final judgment, that final hit from the ICBM missiles, the thermonuclear destruction. All right, very serious and heavy times we're in indeed. And so we'll just see how this entire situation continues to build, but they're definitely building a narrative. And remember as well that Yahushua said that we will see certain things, and he said pestilences. He didn't say pestilence, he said pestilences, which is plural. So it's going to be a number of pestilences that are going to be affecting the world in these end of times. It's not just going to be one thing. All right. And also keep in mind that it is a part of the judgments of Yahweh Shemishai. So even though how the C19 was sold, we know what it really was, you know what I'm saying? But the time is going to come where the pestilence is truly going to be ravaging the world and destroying the people, okay, en masse. So that's all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai Bashum Kakodesh. Shalom.